So when solving by factoring and solving using the square root method doesn't work, we're kind of left with one major option, and that is solving by the quadratic formula. So the quadratic formula takes any equation that is in quadratic form, like ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So the variables and constants need to be on the left, and it needs to be equal to 0. If it is in that form, then we can substitute into what is called the quadratic formula. And you can see that this is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, where a, b, and c are the coefficients of x squared, x, and the constant. So let's practice using this. I will tell you, you absolutely positively must have this memorized. There is no formula sheet for pre-calculus. There is no formula sheet for calculus. You have to have this equation memorized. We will not give it to you. And it's something that you should know very, very quickly off the top of your head. So whatever you got to do to get it memorized, please do so. All right, let's look at our first equation here. We want to solve this using the quadratic formula. Notice it doesn't factor. If it factors, always try to factor it. But if it doesn't factor, we're kind of stuck with that. All right, so what is a, b, and c? And I won't do this in the future, but what is the coefficient sitting in front of this x squared? If it's not there or it's invisible, it's a 1. B, we're going to use the sign that goes with the number. So B is going to be a negative 2, and C will be this constant here with its sign. C will be a negative 5. Now we're going to plug that into our formulas. And the big trick to this, to make sure that you're getting everything correct and that everything simplifies correctly, is to make sure that you are putting everything in parentheses. If you write a number, plug a number into a variable, make sure you put it in parentheses. And that will make sure that you are getting all your pluses and minuses correct. So x equals negative b, so negative negative 2, plus or minus the square root of b, which is negative 2. See how I put it in parentheses? And now I square it. That's really important. Minus 4. A is a 1. C is a negative 5. And we're going to put the whole thing all over 2 times 1. Now, a common mistake that I see is that when people write their fraction, they just put the 2 times 1 under the square root part. Make sure that that line all over 2a. We're putting the whole thing over 2a. Now it's a matter of simplifying. So negative negative 2 is 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. Negative 4 times 1 times negative 5 is 20. So this is the square root of 24 all over 2. It would be nice if we could stop here, but what we need to do now is simplify this. So this is going to simplify. If we simplify our square root, the square root of 24 simplifies to 2 squared is 6 over 2. And now we go back to that trick that we learned, the cookie principle. Remember, we're going to look at all of our coefficients that are outside of square roots. Are they all divisible by something? They are. 2, 2, and 2 are all divisible by 2. And what is 2 divided by 2? Well, that is 1. So we're going to get 1 plus or minus 1 square root of 6 over 1, but that over 1's a bit redundant in this case. So we can finish this off and make it 1 plus or minus the square root of 6. So we have two answers here that we would put into my open math. It'll be 1 plus the square root of 6 and 1 minus the square root of 6. And we would type it like that into my open math.